Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to some Overwatch. Carthage Firebirds versus Concordia Wisconsin Falcons, sorry. This is going to be a very, very important game for the Firebirds. I'm your host, as always, Bearded Man, and once again, Tanner's not with me, but I miss you. Tanner, if you're watching, we miss you. But first game of the night is going to be Carthage Firebirds versus the Concordia Wisconsin Falcons. And if it is a double elimination series, so I believe whichever team loses tonight is out of the championship series for good. That is a season-ending game right here. Very unfortunate because both of these teams that we see are just dominant. They are amazing. They are just phenomenal teams. Concordia Falcons having gone pretty much undefeated their entire regular season. But last time playing the Firebirds, the very, very first time they had ever lost was against the Firebirds. They were originally going, I believe it was a perfect record for them, only losing 2 or 3 maps, and the Firebirds being able to go a 3-1 series against them, losing 3 maps to the Firebirds. So this shows just how powerful the Firebirds are. But the Falcons as well, going to be a very big threat to the Firebirds. It's going to be a very close game, I'm predicting here. So I'm very, very excited for that. It looks like the first map of the night is going to be Lijiang Tower, but I'm not quite sure. I will be back with that in a short minute once I get word for that. But it is going to be a best of 5 series once again, going control point, then hybrid, then escort, then hybrid again, and back to control. And if we do see a tiebreaker, if we do need a tiebreaker, we are going to be going to escort. We have yet to see a tiebreaker, but it has happened in the NECC. Winner of this match, I believe, will be playing Concordia or Carroll University tonight in the semifinals, and tomorrow will be the championship finals for this division, the Emergence Division National Championship right here for the NECC. It is such an amazing series. The Firebirds, we've been practicing all day. We are fired up, as always. We are excited. We are ready. And we're going to see, I think we have a few tricks to pull out today. I think there's going to be a few tricks up our sleeve, so I'm ready for some excitement. We are going to be playing Oasis on our map 1, which is an amazing map to see because the Firebirds have destroyed on it numerous times. I believe they're undefeated on it, but I'm not quite sure about that. But I believe last time Firebirds did beat Concordia, so I'm excited to see how Oasis goes for this time. Your starting lineup for the Firebirds is going to be pretty standard. We're going to see Crazy Mage, Hubbub, Lunar Synergy, Psychopreds, Nankicks, and Donut. And for the Concordia Wisconsin Falcons, we're going to be seeing Kaneem, Jomaru, Duckinator, Pectus, SoFresh, and Ludba. I don't recognize Ludba from last time, so that might be a new player. So that'll be very exciting to see what Ludba, I'm going to say Lubda at some point. I'm excited to see what they are able to pull out from, you know, the whatever they're bringing to the table. But Oasis is going to be a solid map. This city center is honestly, this is my least favorite Oasis map specifically, but ultimately I think it's going to be a great match. We are going to see for the Firebirds, once they've chosen, they're going to be running as Zarya, Winston for their tanks, Mercy, Ana as their healers, just kidding, Moira, Ana as their healers, and then a Cassidy Doomfist for their DPS. Whereas for the Falcons, we're going to see a Winston Diva, a Genji Soldier, and a Mercy Ana for their support. So two very good dive comps, I think. Jomaru on Genji is going to be, that's interesting to see. I mean, Genji is always very hit or miss sometimes. But we're going to see the Firebirds right away diving onto the Falcons. The Falcons were trying to dive right away, but Duckinator getting picked off by Lunar Synergy, but Psychopred's getting met by some aggression by Pectus and is out of the match right away. Hopefully going to be coming back in before any sort of point hold comes in. Donut is just flying in his Doomfist, but gets picked off right off the bat. The Firebirds are, despite getting some really key picks on Kaneem, are unable to hold it and are forced to retreat. Nankicks is trying their best, trying to heal everybody, and Psychopreds is back in the fight, but just enough, just in time to protect everybody and to back up. So this is going to be a very good match. Concordia was able to capture that first point right off the bat. So hopefully the Firebirds are going to be able to come in. They're going to be diving on that high ground, which is very interesting because Psychopreds was going to be alone up there. Nobody was able to meet him because nobody was in position for that. They had the long angle, and we're going to see because they're going to be down Lunar Synergy, missing that flash to the defense matrix. So fresh and getting a picks on Lunar Synergy, and NECC's Donut is trying to flank around in the back line, but it looks like Concordia is going to be holding off the Firebirds once again in this initial push. Unfortunate to see, but I think Psychopreds is still kind of like, I'm not quite sure. Psychopreds did try to push in on their own, which was kind of unfortunate there, but I'm confident they're going to be able to figure that out and call it out and switch it up right away. But we do see an amplification matrix coming out from NECC once again. We're going to see the primal rage coming out for the Falcons mixed with a diva bomb. The diva bomb over the wall though, which was kind of unfortunate because it was not able to do any damage, but so far it's getting a visor pick on our main healer, on NECC, our main healer. But here we go, Psychopreds using that primal rage, knocking people around. The Firebirds getting some really good picks right here. However, Canyon is still front and center along with Pectus, doing quite a bit of chaos for the Firebirds, but I think the Firebirds are gonna be able to do enough damage. There we go, Pectus is out of mech, and it's just gonna be their baby diva right there, and the baby diva was of course picked off. The Firebirds have claimed the point. However, the Falcons have 87% on point right now. This is going to be a very close game, I think. The Firebirds are just going to need to hold it completely. I believe if they lose one team fight, the Falcons will easily be able to take it over and probably win the point, unless the Firebirds try and stagger in. But that'll have to be very, very close of a fight. We're gonna see Crazy Mage you getting a bunch of ult charge there, or Zarya charge there, up to 50%, but taking quite a bit of damage in the process, almost having that Graviton surge, which is going to be very key for any sort of game-changing plays here. We're gonna see Coalescence trying to take care of that Mercy in the air, but it wasn't enough. We're gonna see Lunar Synergy take quite a bit of damage from Canine, but Canine is still trying to hold in. He was trying to push, but it wasn't enough. Lunar Synergy using High Noon to try and take care of Canine. Very interesting play by Lunar Synergy, but the Firebirds were able to pick off Canine despite the numerous ultimates being used. Psychopreds being slept right off the bat in that secondary fight where we saw Donut's gonna be rushing in once again as Doomfist gonna be using that meteor strike, taking out two of the Falcons with that one punch, and then Jomaru falling against the wall. A triple kill there for Donut. We're gonna see Pectus is out of mech right now once again from the Diva and is picked off once again by Donut. Donut is deadly on Doomfist. Amazing to see this amazing fight. I think the Firebirds are gonna be tying it up at this point at 87% for both teams on point, unless the it's gonna be 87%. Firebirds might be able to push this overtime though, pending how fast Falcons attack, which is interesting because they're capturing points, but the Firebirds did not make any sort of movement right there, and the Falcons just gained quite a bit of that percentage needed to capture point. It is at 99% right now for the Firebirds. Firebirds do need to survive this fight right now or they lose point. It is not looking good right now because so many of them have been picked off. So far, it's getting a double kill there with that visor. The Firebirds need to push in right now or they're going to lose map one. They have no time to spare. It is at 95%, ticking up, and it is not looking good for the Firebirds right now on map one. And the point goes to the Falcons right off the bat. Once again, I said this is going to be a very evenly matched fight, an evenly matched series tonight. Amazing teams going up against each other. So I am confident we're going to see some action coming up. Map 2 going to, I believe, I always forget the name of this one. I think it's called Garden. I lied, this is my least favorite one. It's the attack strategy that the Firebirds are going to use. I think what both teams are going to actually do is take the high ground, because usually what happens is the high ground, whoever holds the high ground the best wins. The high ground is very, very valuable on this this map, so I'm confident we're going to see Donut going to that high ground right off the bat, trying to get some easy picks or some poke damage. on the Falcons, but the Falcons are very split up right now. Only a few of them are going inside that. We're going to see Pectus trying to get the back of Donut, but Donut was able to survive and doing quite a bit of damage, knocking him off, but Diva was able to fly back up. We're going to see So Fresh getting picked off by Donut. This is going to be beautiful to see right here. Firebirds are in advantage, however, So Fresh was revived by Duckinator. Psychopreds trying to do a spin. We're going to see Joe Maru on Reaper, which is going to do quite a bit of damage to Psychopreds, who is playing Winston. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Psychopreds switch off of Winston, but we do have that Zarya to do quite a bit of absorption damage, to negate a lot of the damage. But Nancakes falls and a bunch of the Firebirds fall. Joe Maru on Reaper is very scary, and Falcons already have quite a few ults. We did see a nano of that fight, I believe, by Ludba, but the Firebirds having 3 ults, almost 4 or 5. It's pretty even on the ult aspect of the game. I'm pretty confident though that someone's going to make some amazing play here. It's all about these ult combos too. We're gonna see the Falcons dive our backline as well as a Death Blossom, but Crazy Mage was able to kill Joe Maru before the Death Blossom got any picks. Psychopreds falling to Canim, and So Fresh getting a pick on Hubbub, and Duckinator getting a revive on Joe Maru, and Pectus getting a pick on Looter Synergy. The Firebirds are not doing well right now on Oasis. 53%. Wow. They got 5%, but it was not enough. The Falcons were able to come back and retake point, and it is now 65% of the point held, and the Firebirds are not doing well. Now, there is going to be, Psychopreds is going to be switching to Roadhog, which I kind of predicted there because Roadhog is such a good counter to Reaper. But that's, I'm hopeful. We're gonna see Joe Maru once again on Reaper going in the back line, doing a bunch of damage to our healers. We're gonna see Donut though try and dive him, try and come back in and try and do a 1v1. We're gonna see a Meteor Strike potentially on that. Beautiful, beautiful Meteor Strike on that grab, getting a few people. Donut getting a triple kill there, and the rest of the Firebirds are going to be coming in. However, they are down both of their DPS. We're going to see Hubbub with the revive on Donut, so Donut is back in the play, and the stagger on the Diva was really good there. However, the Firebirds were wasting enough time for the Falcons to get to 99%. So the Firebirds are going to have to hold this really well once again. But that is exactly what happened in the last match, but it wasn't enough. We're going to see Joe Maru in the backline once again for the Firebirds. Nobody seems to be really watching except Psychopreds, which honestly might be the best play. We're going to see Lunar Synergy try and do a high noon right in the Winston bubble and in an immortality field in the middle of the fight, which is interesting. We're going to see Canim use Primal Rage and knock 2 people off the map. The Firebirds are not going to win this, I don't think. The Firebirds are getting picked off. We're going to see Joe Maru getting nanoed from the rim. Wow. Ludba is a phenomenal Ana. I am so impressed. These nanos are really good. The anti-grenades are amazing. From one Ana player to another, Ludba, great job with that. The Firebirds are losing map 1. The Sweaterbirds, I'm just noticing that. The Falcons have taken Oasis, beating the Firebirds' undefeated record on Oasis, unfortunately, but Donut getting the play of the game for this map. We're gonna see, this was it, that amazing Meteor Strike right on the grav, getting, I believe, a triple kill here. It was funny because Joe Maru teleported right onto that Meteor Strike, taking quite a bit of damage there. Ludba doing 33% of the team damage taken, doing the healing. Donut getting 9 Meteor Strike kills though, 5,000 ability damage done. Canim though 15 jump pack kills, and Pectus 75% kill participation goes to Pectus. It shows just how strong of a tank Pectus is for the Falcons. So that was an amazing match to see, and I'm very excited to see how map 2 goes. I believe what happens now is the Falcons ban a map and the Firebirds choose the map, and then the Falcons then choose the side that they wish to play, and it's a hybrid. So that's going to be a very important factor for them to take into account. But we're going to take a quick 1 to 2 minute break while both teams decide their bans and their picks, and we'll be back after a few short messages. We are back for map 2 of the game right now. Firebirds versus Concordia, Wisconsin. Falcons, map 1 on Oasis. The Firebirds did end up losing a 2-0. Falcons were able to secure both points right off the bat. The Firebirds were able to hold their own and meet them with some resistance, but it wasn't enough. The Falcons were able to secure them. Map 2, the Falcons decided to ban Blizzard World, and the Firebirds decided to pick Kings Row. And as we know, Kings Row for the Firebirds can either go really good or really poorly. It's very hit or miss with them. It is when they win really well, but when they lose, it's usually heartbreaking. So I'm interested to see how this goes right now. Concordia did, I believe last time we played Concordia, we did play Kings Row, and it was a very, very strong push from the Firebirds. So I'm confident we might see that again. But we'll see how this goes. You know, anything can happen. Upsets happen all the time, especially when it comes to esports. So we see that the Falcons do have some really, really strong players right now. So I'm confident we're going to see some success from both teams in one aspect or another. But here we go. Firebirds are going to be attacking first, running a Sigma, Mercy, Bastion. I believe that's a Winston, a Baptiste, and a Genji. Now, Donut has very little experience on Genji. We do not see much Genji on Donut, and that's why Donut just switched to Symmetra, as I was saying that. But the Falcons are going to be running pretty much the same comp with that Reaper and Soldier as their DPS. That's going to be very, very scary, I think, for the Firebirds. Their Jomaru on Reaper was such a big threat in the last match on Oasis, so the Firebirds are going to have to definitely change up their strategy and hard counter that. Jomaru able to destroy the teleporter pad, but before he's able to do that, the entirety of the Firebirds were able to use it, which was great for them. Now the Firebirds are just going to try and hold. However, the Falcons are just going to take cover. Like, there's not much. We're going to see Donut use the teleporter right onto the entirety of the Falcons, who was stationed up there. And the Firebirds are able to get some key picks on Duckinator on both of their healers. However, Hubbub using that res on Symmetra. Now the Firebirds are back at full force. Silfresh was able to get a pick on Lunar Synergy's Bastion. The Firebirds are having to back up a little bit because Kanim has been doing quite a bit of attack. But the Firebirds were able to recapture, it looks like, point. Despite the little bit of a scare there from Kanim. We're going to see Pectus using that signal, raising the Firebirds off a point. But Crazy Mage is just unloading a bunch of shots into the Falcons and doing so much damage. Hubbub is using that revive once again. Jomaru, though, is on her healers, and the only person immediately responding is Psychopreds. But Jomaru was able to get just destroyed by Psychopreds, doing quite a bit of damage to both of the healers, getting some ult charge. I think that was, great play on Jomaru there. So I think that's going to definitely beat them in the ult game. However, the Firebirds are going to be running a Pharah, and as we saw last time, the Firebirds destroyed on Pharah. Donut was able to just not be countered by anything the Falcons tried. Pectus playing Diva was the best counter they had to Donut's Pharah, but even then, like, Pectus was out of the fight when he was trying to focus Pharah. More shots going out from Crazy Mage onto the Falcons. Falcons are not able to push through that main entrance, but eventually the Firebirds are going to have to meet them right there. So I don't know what to expect right now. The Firebirds are holding their own. Donut is going to be going around, trying to find a really good angle. We're going to see a shatter from Kanim, knocking down quite a few of the Firebirds. Crazy Mage is backing up right now. The Firebirds are trying to go out, are trying to retreat. Pectus, or Kanim was able to charge Crazy Mage and kill him right into that, knock him right into that wall and do quite a bit of damage. And the Firebirds are forced to back up and regroup right in the back. Jomaru is going to be flanking around once again. The Firebirds are just not being able to get the upper hand that we saw last time when they played against them. We're going to see Jomaru in the back. Donut has recognized the Jomaru in the back line in the top area. Lunar Synergy is trying to get some poke damage as well on Soldier. Lunar Synergy is so good with that. I think Soldier is such a solid pick for Lunar Synergy, but we're going to see Donut flanking around with that barrage. We're going to see Sofresh getting solo ulted pretty much by Donut on the backline for the Falcons. Lunar Synergy using the visor, getting another pick, and we're going to see an amazing shatter there. We're going to see Psychic Barrage running in, charging in, getting a pick on Pectus. Despite the damage being done from the Falcons, they were not able to get any sort of upper hand. Joe Maru switching off a Reaper, going to Ash, once again trying to get another hit scan to counter Donut. But Donut, if he is on the top of his game like he was last time, will not have to struggle much. Will be able to just dodge and duck and dip and dive and dodge again. These shots from these hit scan from the Falcons. We're gonna see NECC once again just doing so much damage as Baptiste, doing quite a bit of healing as well. The Firebirds are able to go around that corner. We're gonna see Joe Maru getting picked up by Lunar Synergy, but getting rezzed by Duckinator. We're gonna see a Sigma ult there, raising a few people in the air, but the Boulder was able to cancel that ultimate. Crazy Mage almost having that Sigma ult there. We're gonna see the Firebirds being split up quite a little bit there. Donut is on that high ground, that area. We're gonna see the Sigma ult raising everybody up, which is gonna be great, getting them out of the Immortality field. But not able to do enough damage and getting picked off by NECC and Lunar Synergy. Wow, here we go. This is it. This is the Firebirds we like to see. Pectus is trying to hold point though, and we're gonna see So Fresh missing a lot of the shots on Donut though. We're gonna see a barrage on a point, which might be really good there. However, because he was barraging, he was caught in the air. He was not able to move. Hubbub using that Valkyrie, trying to get a res on. There we go, res was on Donut, and the Firebirds were able to push the point all the way to the end. That is it. The Firebirds were able to push it all the way to the end. Now, the Firebirds were doing really, really well. There are a few scary moments there. That just shows that the Falcons definitely have the potential to hold off the Firebirds. However, the Falcons need to push the point all the way to the end as well, and that will move us into extra rounds. So whether or not we're going to see that, it's hard to say. I mean, the Falcons definitely, if we'd expect any team to go into extra rounds, I would expect the Falcons to be it, because they have some amazing players on their team, but so do the Firebirds. So I'm excited to see how this goes.
Ready for battle.
Moving on, for the attack from the Falcons, Firebirds are going to be going for defense. A Sigma, Mercy, Soldier, Reinhardt, Baptiste, and Pharah. I'm expecting a Pharmacy coming out from Hubbub and Donut. The duo is just phenomenal when it comes to Pharmacy. And the Falcons usually do have a tough time countering any sort of Pharmacy or any sort of Pharah. And I think that comes down to hit scan, because we see Joe Maru and SoFresh being such phenomenal DPS. However, if they're focusing the Pharmacy, their aim is out of the way from the rest of the Firebirds, and are just, it's not going to end well for them. We have seen SoFresh though, SoFresh going to Reaper though, instead of Joe Maru. They're switching sides, so SoFresh might be completely different on Reaper. We will see how this goes very soon. Diva is going to be, Pectus is going to be diving for the Falcons onto that high ground. Probably going to be catching some of the Firebirds off guard because he's just going to be diving the backline. But whether or not the Firebirds are going to respond to that, we don't know. We're going to see Pectus just kind of hiding, though. We're not going to see much, but probably waiting for this push that we're seeing right here. Crazy Mate's doing so much damage to the rest of the Falcons, but the Firebirds are kind of alone right now. We're going to see Hubbub kind of only pocketing Donut, and Pectus is going to be diving Donut, which is a great call for them. The Falcons are going to be able to capture point. It looks like the Falcons, or the Firebirds, are going to have to be forced to back up. And there we go. The Falcons have captured point. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. Total for the Falcons to push it. Quite a bit of time. Quite a bit of time for stuff to happen, but quite a bit of time for the Firebirds to hold. And easier said than done to hold 5 minutes. So we're going to see Donut try and dive the Soldier Mercy duo on top. And the thing is, though, is that Soldier is going to excel when it comes to close quarters. Your aim could be, you know, I mean, we have seen some success with the aim, some really good aim from Joe Maru. But if you're not able to hit those long distance shots, if you're able to hit close distance shots, you're going to excel when you're up in that top area. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Joe Maru. They're able to hold their own and do quite a bit. Now we're going to see a shatter coming out from the Falcons, and the barrage going in from Donut, but Pectus using that defense matrix was able to do just so much absorption from that barrage, and it was not able to do any sort of damage outside of Canyon. Now there is going to be some survivors left for the Firebirds, half of the team, 1 DPS, 1 tank, 1 healer, while the rest of the Firebirds do regroup and come back in. But the Falcons are going to be able to push in quite a bit and to gain a lot of ground. So that's going to be very bad for the Firebirds.
Get over here, healer.
Now we're going to see Pectus once again diving the, kind of doing some, not so much diving the backline, but taking that high ground, that off angle, and doing a lot of damage, forcing the Firebirds to have to take cover. Oh, amazing cover pick, or amazing cover location from Donut, being able to just read that line of sight from that Diva Bomb and survive it, but not able to survive the rest. The NECC was able to get picked off by that. Pectus is one of the best divas I think I've seen all season, if not the best diva I've seen all season. Amazing diva player, and diva is such a solid tank, being able to play both a brawl comp as well as a just pure dive is just a phenomenal person to play, and not much to counter. If you're moving around, there's not much you can do to counter. Now we're gonna see that shatter coming out from Canium on the side, and the Firebirds are taking a bunch of hits. A team wipe from the Firebirds, a team kill by the Falcons. That is gonna be bad for the Firebirds. Firebirds are gonna lose this point. There's no way the Firebirds are gonna be able to come back in. Except if they completely switch their comp to a dive comp, which it's working right now. Crazy Mage is just kind of trying to stall as long as he can before we see one of the Firebirds come in, but the Falcons were able to push it, and the Falcons having a whole minute and 20 seconds more on the clock for their attack. That's going to be, this is going to be it. This is extra rounds. So what's going to happen now, the Firebirds have 2 minutes to attack, and they have 2 minutes to capture that first point and push it as far as they can. Once they're done, they're going to have to then defend, and the Falcons are going to have to do the exact same thing. They're going to have to push as far as the Firebirds did, but with a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. So that is going to be it. This is going to be very close, I think. The key to playing extra rounds is just getting them off of point. Because if they leave point at any point, which we're gonna see, maybe the Crazy Mage ult, the Sigma ult will lift everybody into the air, and that will count as people leaving the point. So that could be used to completely win the game if used properly. But we will see. You have to be very coordinated, and it's not difficult to counter that because you just move out of the way. So this will be a close game, I think. We are going to see the Firebirds running pretty much the same comp as last time. However, Lunar Synergy is going to be going Cassidy. The Falcons are going to be running the same comp. Ludba as Ana, though, instead of, I believe we saw Baptiste. So I'm curious how this is going to go. The Firebirds are going to be taking a different strategy, going through the hotel instead of teleporting right on the high ground. Canium taking quite a bit of damage. Dromaru getting picked off by Donut. We are going to see just a lot of damage being done, but Canium just taking so much damage as well. And you're having Duckinator pretty much pocket the Reaper, and that's not good because that means that the only person receiving healing is the Reaper. Hubbub having 8 health there, but able to fly back and take cover and being healed back up by NECC. And now it's become the Firebirds on point, and the rest of the Falcons are just going to be scattered around. Lunar Synergy being slept by Ludba, which was an amazing shot by Ludba there. That was an amazing sleep. Going to be stalling, but now the point has been captured. The Firebirds have now 60 seconds left on the clock to push it as far as they can. If they leave point for too long, and by too long I mean like mere seconds, it is going to be it's going to be over, and the Firebirds are going to have to defend like their life depends on it. Falcons going to be holding an off angle right now too. It's just going to be stalling. They're going to be trying to stall as long as they can. It's not so much getting kills, but if the Firebirds are not able to, there we go. We're going to see a barrage from Donut, but Donut was only able to demech Pectus. Jomaru got the early pick on Donut, but we're going to see Hubbub getting the revive. Oh, wow. We're going to see the Sigma ult going up. We're going to see a visor, though, from Jomaru and that upper area, and is going to be dropped. But we're going to see the Nano coming out, though, as well. Jomaru getting picked off by NECC, being paired up by quite a few people. And Donut is just pushing the Falcons back and further back. Wow. Overtime has hit, so now the Firebirds are not allowed to leave point. They are not allowed to waste any of this time. The longer they're in overtime, the longer the cooldown is going to, or the shorter the actual tick down is going to be. So the Firebirds were able to push it pretty far, though. However, they need to capture this point, and once they capture this point, they're not going to add much time. We're going to see Candy use a Shatter, but the Shatter was blocked by Psychopreds. Pectus is in the backline once again, but taking so much damage, being demeched. Pectus was able to get Hubbub, though, and they're down one of their main healers. Sofresh getting a quadruple kill with that Death Blossom. Remember that time where I said Sofresh is going to bring a new atmosphere, a new play style with Reaper? There you go. Both of the Falcons DPS being phenomenal Reaper players. It's either that, which they are, I think, in my opinion, great Reaper players, but also the Firebirds have always struggled with a Reaper. So that's something I think the Firebirds need to sit down and kind of think about how they can actually counter it, because the Firebirds have not, they've been able to counter it when they went Pharah, but when it comes to a situation like that, if the Reaper is able to kill the entirety of the Firebirds outside of the pharmacy, then it's just not going to end well. But for the attack from the Falcons, going to be running pretty much the same comp. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this is exactly what their mindset is, I'm sure. It's working out. Pectus is a phenomenal D.Va player. I'm sorry, I'll say that again. Sofresh being amazing on Reaper. Love Debug getting some key sleeps, key nanos, key everything on Ana. And then from the Firebirds going Zarya, Moira, Cassidy, Reinhardt, Baptiste, and we finally see a Mei. I know for certain the Firebirds not playing Mei was going to hurt them. Now they're playing Mei, but will Donut be able to play Mei well enough to counter the Reaper, the Widowmaker from Jomaru? The Widowmaker is going to be such an interesting pick because the long ranges, the angles are going to be so good in this area that Jomaru, if they're able to hit their shots, it's just going to mean game over for the Firebirds. The Firebirds are going to be forced to drop right now. Canny being picked or being split up using that Mei wall. Key to playing Mei is playing like that. You could get no kills by playing Mei, but if you're able to slow people, if you're able to split them up using that Mei wall, it's just not going to end well. And we see Pectus once again taking that high ground. Sofresh getting picked off by Lunar Synergy. Might switch off of the Reaper because of the Mei, but we're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna see the Donut against the D.Va. Now a Mei is pretty good counter to a D.Va. It's because you can freeze her, because the defense matrix does not do much. We're gonna see Jomaru try and run up as a soldier, but gets blocked off by the Mei wall. A minute has been burnt off the clock. Pectus being nano, diving into the back line of the Firebirds, is doing so much damage to the Firebirds. Wow, almost a team wipe. That's pretty much a team wipe. That is a team wipe there from the Falcons. Donut respawning though, making it technically not a team kill, but I'll call that a team kill because Donut was not there. And the Falcons were able to secure point with a lot of time on the clock. The Firebirds are going to need to do something really quick here, something game-changing, because it is not looking good for them. Pectus has definitely just gone from an amazing player to a godly player between now and the last time the Firebirds met the Falcons. I don't remember Jomaru being like this, and this is showing just how dominant Pectus is as a D.Va player, and the Firebirds are gonna have to pick this up. Now we're gonna see that Mei wall going out of Canine, but we're gonna see both Reinhardts being picked off from both teams. A revive coming out from Duckinator on that player. We're gonna see Jomaru in the backline. The Firebirds are gonna be just demolished by that Canine being boosted, being nanoed. And Pectus getting a melee kill on Lunar Synergy. The Firebirds need to push in. They have very little ground to cover. This is not looking good for the Firebirds. Psychopreds is right there trying to do as much as he can, but as a Reinhardt against the world, not much can be done. How about being able to use the Coalescence? Pectus is back in mech, and that is not going to end well. We're going to see the Reinhardt and the Falcons were able to push them up enough and provide enough resistance, and the Falcons have secured map 2. It is now 2-0 in the series. This is it. The Firebirds cannot afford to lose this next map. If the Firebirds lose this next map, they are out. They are done for the season, and it is going to be a very heartbreaking game to watch. However, we have it. We were, for a little bit there, able to counter Concordia, and the fact that we were able to go into extra rounds shows just how evenly matched these teams are. However, Pectus, 75% kill participation for the Falcons. Ludbug going 18,000 healing for the Falcons. 2 dominant players that the Firebirds need to realize maybe these people are the ones we need to target. However, because just because you're not getting those kills doesn't mean you're not doing enough damage. We saw SoFresh playing the Reaper, doing so much damage, not necessarily getting any sort of finishing shots, but able to do enough that Pectus was able to fly in, get those amazing shots as D.Va, because D.Va can get when in close quarters. D.Va is just such a good person to play, and especially at the hands of Pectus. So going into map 3, which is going to be an escort map, hopefully the Firebirds are going to change it up a little bit and it's a make or break scenario for them. But we'll be back after a minute or two while both teams decide on their picks and bans, and we'll be playing a few short messages, so we'll catch you in a bit.
See your future on the horizon? So do we.
It's really just the greatest college experience I could have asked for.
What really drew me in was having an adventure.
I think something really unique about Carthage is that it constantly pushes you outside of your comfort zone.
At Carthage College, we will push you to dive deep, to channel your curiosity, and excel in your chosen field.
It's been like an individual journey through collaborative effort. And so overall, this has been my college experience, but so many people that I've met have been supportive along the way, and they're all looking out for you. So that's really why it feels like a family.
As you ignite your true potential and start asking the hard questions, you'll find that the answers are just the beginning. That's the moment your purpose comes into view.
We are really able to get great one-on-one action with our professors. So you can't hide in your classroom. You're always actively participating.
You'll get recommended for things that you might not have ever been interested in before, and you end up realizing that that might be your passion.
Everyone here is just so nice, so welcoming. It's really easy to make friends here at Carthage. The biggest change was going from student to young business professional.
I love Carthage.
It's definitely the people.
Living on the lake is amazing.
I feel very prepared for my future.
Ended up surpassing my expectations.
Some things you just need to see for yourself. Come take a closer look at Carthage College.
We are back from map 3 of the series tonight. Carthage Firebirds versus the Concordia, Wisconsin Falcons. The Battle of the Wisconsin Birds, as we like to call it. Maps 1 and 2 did not go so hot for the Firebirds on Oasis and Kings Row. However, in Kings Row, we did see that those extra rounds, which means it's going to be a close game. And some amazing ultimate usage by the Falcons was able to pick off the Falcons, and they were not able to take it. However, going into map 3, this is it, make or break for the Firebirds. If they're not able to hold this map, the Firebirds are done for the season. The Falcons have been doing amazing, tonight. Last time we did see a 3-1 in the series from the Falcons being able to 3-1 Concordia last time. However, we are seeing almost like an entirely new team from the Falcons this time. Amazing players all around. Pectus being such a scary diva player, the best diva player I've seen all season. I will fully say that. And then Joe Maru and Sofresh being such dominant DPS. All around the Falcons being very strong. The Firebirds needing to figure out how we can counter this. The Falcons decided to... So the Falcons banned... They banned Havana. Solid ban. I'm not a big fan of Havana. The Firebirds. Havana's a very interesting map to play. A lot of teams don't like it. But the Firebirds deciding to choose Watchpoint Gibraltar. And I am very excited to see how this goes. Now, last night, Firebirds playing Howard Community College Dragons. Howard Community College Dragons, undefeated, losing only like 2 maps their entire regular season. We're almost full held by the Firebirds. The Firebirds were able to hold their payload underneath that arch, so I'm confident the Firebirds are gonna be able to pull this off. Now, the Falcons might be very strong on this map, so I can't say for certain. I don't know what to expect, but we're going to see pretty similar comp. We're gonna see Crazy Mage and Psychopred's going a Sigma Hog, which I like. We're gonna see Canim right off the bat getting picked off by Lunar Synergy mixed with that Hubbub Zenyatta. That Discord is going to be such a key aspect in this game, being able to just amplify any sort of damage a target receives. Whichever target has the Orb of Discord being placed on them. Joe Maru in the back getting boosted by Duckinator, doing some damage as Soldier, but will it be enough? We're going to see knock down quite a bit of health, but able to use that health storage, and the Firebirds were able to just walk it onto point. However, a lot of the Falcons were behind them. So right now the Falcons, despite being able to get a team kill here, have the Firebirds spawn right there. So the Falcons should have backed up, I think, in my opinion, because the Firebirds were able to push it so far. They were able to capture that first point, adding quite a bit of time onto their clock. However, this internal area, this hangar area, is going to be a very difficult place for both teams to play in, because it's simultaneously a very difficult place to hold and a very difficult place to defend, because there's so many angles, so many twists and turns. So Psychopreds pulling off that Hog really well, trying to get some hooks. Knowing Pectus is up in that main area, we're going to see Donut having that visor and a bunch of the Falcons being stationed inside of that jet. We're going to see that Nano Canim right there, using that Winston, dropping down. Gonna have Primal Rage for this next fight. A bunch of ults for the Falcons, except that Nano, but that Nano on that Winston was really, really good. Donut getting picked off by that Ludba. Ana player in the back, just getting those long shots, because Ana being able to just be a hit scan and a projectile all at the same time. Being able to get a hit scan shot when zoomed in, and that is when you want it, and that is when you need it, and that is exactly what we saw. Pectus and Sofresh almost already at their ult. Pectus having that ult against a Sigma is going to be very, very bad, because, well, it's going to be really good against the Sigma, because Sigma's shield is not a lot of coverage for that Diva Bomb. So the Firebirds are going to have to play the natural cover. But this inside area has so much natural cover. So the Firebirds might easily be able to just hide if needed. Psychopreds is trying to look out for that Sofresh Reaper. We're going to see Pectus popping, might have been a fat finger there, popping the Diva Bomb and then immediately getting back into the mech. Okay, that was calculated, and that was done so well. That was phenomenal from Pectus, using the Diva Bomb to kind of scare everybody off and then immediately getting back into it. Donnie using the visor to get a pick on Joe Maru. We're going to see the whole hog demeching Pectus. Pectus going against Zenyatta, but Zenyatta was able to meet enough resistance. We're going to see the Transcendence coming out from Hubbub, trying to counter that Primal Rage, and the Primal Rage was successfully countered. However, Crazy Mage having that Sigma ult, and that being the only ult the Firebirds have against the Falcons, having the Nano, having the Death Blossom. We're going to see a Death Blossom Nano, I'm sure. However, we're not good. However, Alpha was able to get a pick on So Fresh. So much is happening right now. We're going to see that Crazy Mage ult, but also a nano on the Winston. And the Winston is going to work out for them. It's just now Suckerpreds on point. The Firebirds are needing to do quite a bit. We're going to see Crazy Mage and everybody backing up. The Immortality Field being placed. Pecht is being demeched. Canyon is going to push the Firebirds back a little bit as Winston. Crazy Mage not being able to soak up any of that Tesla cannon, and the Firebirds are going to be held. We're going to see Donut getting a pick on Pectus, which is honestly not good because they were already regrouping. And now Donut just died, so now the Firebirds have even more time that they're going to need to use to back up to regroup. Canyon once again almost at Primal Rage. However, noticing that they're trying to do not even a back cap, but trying to tactically play the objective while the rest of the Falcons might be trying to get kills. Now we're going to see both Donut and Lunar Synergy taking that high ground as the DPS, but can be met by both tanks. That is not going to be good for Lunar Synergy. Crazy Mage was able to help just in the nick of time, but will it be enough? 1:30 left on the clock. The Firebirds have not pushed it. 3.5 meters left for them to push it though. So they might be able to do it. Jomar getting a pick on Donut. That's going to be really good for the Falcons. Falcons are going to be able to get some really key picks on NECC as Primal Rage goes off from Canyon. And Lunar Synergy hitting that stun grenade, that flash grenade, but not able to get any of the picks. And Lunar Synergy getting picked up by Pectus because he was trying to stay too long. Canyon getting destroyed by that whole hog though. The Firebirds have 60 seconds to push it. NECC has that amplification matrix ready at their disposal. You know, I will say Space Cake did mention in chat that Little Duck from Carol, also a dominant D.Va player. You are very right. So I honestly, Pectus versus Little Duck, I would love to see. Carol has some very amazing players all around as well. We're gonna see Suckerpreds trying to get some shots in. Lunar Synergy missing that getting that flash grenade, but not able to survive long enough. We're gonna see Hubba back in the fight using that Transcendence. Canyon being ulted or nanoed, trying to stall as long as they can. 20 seconds left on the clock. We're gonna see So Fresh taking so much damage, getting picked off. A bunch of picks from the Firebirds, and that is going to add not a lot of time on the clock. 1:40 left for the Firebirds to push, and they have quite a bit of distance to go.
Up the tempo.
Firebirds continue to push the point, and I think what's going to happen is the Falcons are just going to hold them at that corner, and that's usually what a lot of teams do because there's a lot of they have the advantage. We're going to see Pectus is going to be diving Donut, but the Firebirds are there to help Donut, and Pectus is demeched. Suckerpreds using that whole hog to kind of knock around Pectus, but it wasn't enough to get any sort of kill. Donut getting a pick on Pectus though, making sure that it's not going to be, they're not going to be at full force just yet. We're going to see a high noon from Lunar Synergy, I bet, right here. We're going to see the flash grenade, but the Primal Rage was able to do quite a bit. We're going to see the high noon getting Duckinator in the process. Pectus is out of mech once again. We're going to see Canyon trying to knock Lunar Synergy around. Lunar Synergy, maybe, there we go, able to get a pick on Canyon. 2.3 meters left for the Firebirds to push it, and the Firebirds with 0.1 meters left, and the Firebirds were able to capture it. This is the watch point that we know and love. This is what we saw yesterday. Watch point is the Firebirds map. 0-3 with very little time on the clock for the Firebirds though, 30 seconds. So if the Falcons push it all the way to the end, we're gonna see extra rounds. But the Falcons might be able to push it with dramatic amount more of, what are words? A lot more time left on the clock. And that is going to be the deciding factor, I'm sure. That is going to be the advantage they need to hold the Firebirds, because 30 seconds will not get you anywhere when it comes to these extra rounds. You are going to have to worry about every single second every single frame of this game needs to be played near flawlessly when you have 30 seconds left on extra rounds. Now, if the Falcons are not able to push it all the way to the end, the Firebirds will take this map, and then we will go into map 4. However, the Firebirds will still need to win map 4. It will still be a make or break, but the Firebirds could get this. This might be the momentum they need. The Firebirds are going to be going as Sigma, Mercy, Cassidy, Roadhog, Baptiste, and Soldier, whereas the Falcons are going to be going a Winston, a Hanzo, a Mercy, a Diva, a Soldier, and an Ana. So pretty much the same comp, and I think they know it. They know it works. So hopefully, this is going to be a very close game. But the Falcons might be able to push it all the way to the end. We're going to see that hook right off the bat from Psychoprince, nearly killing Canim, nearly knocking him out. We're going to see Pectus, though, being demeched right off the bat. The Hanzo barely surviving. Had the hook hit a fractions later, or a fraction earlier, and Hanzo would have been out of the play. But NECC was able to swoop in and get the pick on Hanzo, I see now. But Canim being killed, however, being rezzed by Duckinator. Duckinator, amazing Mercy player right there. But I still like Hubbub's Mercy. I think Hubbub's Mercy is such a good. Hubbub is so good on Mercy. Not saying Duckinator's a bad Mercy, but I do have to pick a favorite here, and I am biased. So, Donut is going to be taking that high ground, getting that angle as Soldier. We are going to see Lunar Synergy having that high noon. A lot of shots being done. A lot of angles being taken. Lunar Synergy playing that angle game right there. We're going to see NECC. We're going to hear a Nano going on to probably some sort of... the Winston is in the... So, the Winston is in the back of the Firebirds. The Firebirds are kind of split. If they have any sort of reinforcements coming in, they're just going to dive them. Ludba getting a pick on Lunar Synergy. Psychoprince getting a pick on Jomaru. It is a pretty even fight right here. However, the Falcons are pushing it really, really well. We're going to see the high noon, or not the high noon, the visor not using the Amp Matrix, though. The Amp Matrix may have been a misplay there because there was not much of an angle, but it will force the Falcons to back up. Donut getting picked off by Pectus, though, because Pectus was able to dive. Psychoprince getting a pick on So Fresh. Both soldiers are out of the picture. I see that Ludba has like 1 health right now, is struggling to get that health. But there we go, Ludba is back at full force. Psychoprince having 70 health, but able to take a breather there and regain a lot of that health. Pectus diving, but Pectus diving into that is not going to be good. Crazy Mage getting that Sigma ult, able to get Jomaru, but there's Duckinator with that ultimate. We're going to see the Diva Bomb. Crazy Mage was not able to find out where that Diva Bomb was, and the Firebirds were able to get picked off. And now 4 minutes left for the Falcons to push in this inside area. I'm curious how this is going to go. This is going to be a very exciting 4 minutes. Because 4 minutes is simultaneously a lot, but when you're in this main area, it's nothing. Because this main area is a very, very good place to hold. A lot of teams will forcefully give that first point just because they know that inside is going to be such a good place to hold.
All patched up.
We're going to see that Nano on Canim once again. Canim being a very good Winston when it comes to being nanoed. We're going to see Pectus trying to dive the rest of the team in that shuttle, and while everything's happening in that shuttle in the top area, the rest of the Falcons are just gonna push them. NECC was able to do quite a bit of healing to regain Psychoprince back to full health. Jomaru in that corner, having that dragon though, and Canyon back at Primal Rage. Pectus is just regaining that self-destruct ult use, their ult charge. Jomaru getting a double kill there on that dragon, and Canyon being able to finish off Crazy Mage. So the Firebirds are not going to be able to regain this point, I don't think. And Lunar Synergy is forced to go into their spawn. It's not going to look good for the Firebirds, and the fact that they're all right there is going to be bad because now Pectus and all of the rest of the Falcons are going to be able to do just so much damage, catching them off guard. They do not have spawn advantage. Falcons have spawn advantage. The Falcons are able to get 2 ult kills there, as well as Pectus getting a re-mech kill, which is something you rarely see. Being able to call that mech down and get a kill with it. It is now more common so because the game, it was recently buffed to do quite, I think it's 600 damage right now, right on a direct call. So Pectus being able to play that perfectly there. We're gonna see how having that Valkyrie, bunch of ults being used by the Firebirds. We're gonna see Pectus trying to use that defense matrix to block the whole hog, but will it be enough? 3.5 minutes on the clock, and the Firebirds have held off the Falcons for now. But if the Falcons are not able to regain this ground, the Firebirds will be able to win it.
You got a lot to learn.
But I will say this, the Falcons do have a few ults at their disposal. They have that Dragon, they have that Nano, they have that Visor, they have that Valkyrie. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Nano Visor here, but it all depends on how well So Fresh is placed, because that is where it matters. The placement of that Visor is very, very important. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. I think the Falcons are just all around playing beautifully right now. We're gonna see that Visor from Donut, but not able to do anything outside of just a decent amount of damage. We're gonna see that Dragon right onto Crazy Mage, right onto a brunt of the Firebirds, and a lot of time is being used in a lot of areas being a lot of ground was covered by the Falcons. So Fresh getting a single kill with that Visor, but the Firebirds were able to get pretty much a team wipe there and regain their footing. 2 minutes left on the clock. This is going to be a very crucial 2 minutes for the Falcons. The Falcons can easily win this though. This is coming down to time. I think the Falcons might be able to push this. They have a decent amount of time. However, if the Firebirds full hold them, then the Firebirds take this map. We're gonna see Canyon getting picked off right now. That was very unfortunate, not having any sort of like cover right there to use to block any sort of damage, and the Firebirds were just able to unload quite a bit of damage into him. We're gonna see Duckinator flying, surviving that flight. Amazing, amazing. Might have been just pure luck there, but I'm not quite sure there. We are going to see Canyon having Primal Rage for this next fight, as well as a self-destruct. But the time is ticking down. This is probably going to be a 1 minute to 1 minute extra round here, because the amount of time left on the clock is, or the amount of time left on the clock, if it's below a minute, is automatically set to a minute. So we will see how this goes. We're gonna see that Diva Bomb from Pectus, and it's going to get 3 people! The Firebirds losing 4 people in this fight! It is not looking good, and the Falcons are gonna be able to just kind of rush in. Donut not using that Visor there, probably gonna hope to use it if the rest of the team stalls. A minute, 0.3 meters left on the clock. Crazy Mage coming in as Wrecking Ball, trying to stall their best, doing their best. Donut having that Visor, gonna be coming in. It is now make or break. We're gonna see that Visor from Donut, but the defense matrix is gonna soak up quite a bit of that. We're gonna see Donut using this Visor, but not able to get anybody. NECC getting So Fresh, but Pectus and Canyon getting some key picks on the healer and the CPS, and another healer goes down, to the Firebirds are going to be able to knock down quite a bit of time though. So now, wow. Wow, okay, so now the Firebirds have 1:24 on the clock to push, and the Falcons only have a minute left. Wow, okay, so this is close. A minute to 1:24, and those extra 24 seconds are barely anything at this point. It could be, that could mean a lot, that could be nothing. We are going to see just some beautiful scenery, though. Let's take a moment to admire the beautiful Watch Point Gibraltar, though. The amazing ocean, coming from a game developer major, pretty much. A game development concentration, but it's pretty much a major. You just got to admire the landscape on these maps, the amount of dedication used. Totally not stalling, so I don't have to, be wrong when I decide to read their comps. But we're going to see these comps coming out for the Firebirds on defense. We're going to see a Sigma, a Mercy, a Cassidy, a Roadhog, an Ana, and a Soldier. Whereas for the Falcons, going to be going Winston, Hanzo, Mercy, Diva, and Reaper, and an Ana. Ludba is I want to have some words with Ludba, because coming from an Ana main, Ludba is doing a great job, and respect, you know, you gotta show that respect. But NANCCC might be a better Ana. Can we see an Ana diff here from the Firebirds? I know NANCCC is scary on Baptiste, but I've never really paid much attention to her Ana. It's a great, I mean, she's a great support all around, but will that be enough? That anti-grenade will be key, but the Firebirds needing to get some picks right now. They're able to get that boulder to knock people around, but they're gonna be playing these angles. The payload's being pushed. The Falcons continue to push the payload, and they're holding them back. The Falcons have not gotten a pick yet. Hubba, well, they got a pick on NANCCC, but Hubba was able to get the revive. So now the Firebirds are forced to drop, and the Falcons are gonna continue to push. The payload is being contested right now, but they have the high ground. And in the wise words of Kenobi, it's over. When you have the high ground, it's over. And this might be it. Donut is going to be pocketed by Hubba being able to damage boost, but Psychopred's taking so much damage there, getting picked off. We're going to see the high noon from Lunar Synergy, but the nano on the Canim, and it's going to buy them so much distance. We're going to see Lunar Synergy getting a high noon kill on the Hanzo. NANCCC's getting a kill on So Fresh using that anti-grenade, but the Primal Rage was able to heal Canny back to full health, trying to negate any sort of damage. They did. We're gonna see Crazy Beats using that signal because they're in overtime. This might be it. This might be it, but they're gonna be knocked down, and the time ticks down, and the Falcons were able to push it really far. That was a really good push by the Falcons. Now the Firebirds just need to push it that far. The Firebirds need that distance. And if they're not able to do it in a minute 24, it is not going to be good. It is going to be end of the season. This is the most important minute 24 seconds left that the Firebirds have ever experienced. This is going to be the longest minute 24 for the Firebirds ever. Also, again, admiring the landscape, admiring the reflections, admiring everything, you know? You hear some serene, this is going to be turned into an ASMR cast. Serene waves. You hear the amazing horn of the boat, you know, the freight. I'm buying time. I'm waiting for their comp, but their comps pretty much are locked in. We're going to see again from the Firebirds a Sigma, Mercy, Cassidy, Roadhog, Ana, and Soldier. That worked out for them really well last time, but for the Falcons on defense, going to be going an Orisa, a Soldier, a Mercy, a Sigma, a Hanzo, and a Baptiste. Ludba going Baptiste is something is decent. I'm excited to see how this goes. Now, the Falcons using double shield is going to be very bad for the Firebirds. Now, they are going to be pulling a Bastion, though. Donut is going to be going Bastion, and Donut on Bastion has been really key in certain plays. So, this is good. This is it for the Firebirds. Let's see how this goes. A lot of poke damage being done. Donut switching off of Bastion, going to Soldier. We're going to see that pole being used, but not enough. We're going to see that hook coming off of them. And Psychopred's was not able to get the pick, though. The healing was just too much for the Falcons. And the Firebirds have already pushed it underneath. 50 seconds left on the clock. A key pick on from NANCCC on Ludba, and So Fresh getting picked off. The Firebirds are aggressive. Joe Maru getting one of their healers, though. Psychopred's and NANCCC, and the point was secured. The Firebirds win map 3 on Watch Point. Watch Point is a very strong map for the Firebirds. That is amazing to see. The Falcons were holding their own, though. Pectus on the Diva. Oh my gosh. This is it. This is Overwatch. This is the Overwatch we like to see. Pectus almost dying there, but able to use it, and there goes that triple kill that allowed them to capture the point. 18,000 healing, 27% of the team damage taken by Ludba. 18,000 healing, 20,000 damage from Jomaru, 35 assists by Hubbub, 52% of the kill participation was assisted by Hubbub, and a ton of same for Duckinator. So this is going to be it. Map 4, hybrid map. Firebirds once again make or break. Now if the Firebirds win this, it's tied up and it's make or break for both teams, but the Firebirds cannot afford to lose this map. Falcons can win it. The Falcons technically could afford to lose it. It's just not going to be good for them. But I'm curious how this is going to go. We'll be back after just a few moments while both teams decide their picks and bans. I will take a break from talking, but we'll be back in a few seconds. We are back for map 4 of the series. Firebirds are down 2-1 right now. This is it. It looks like the Firebirds decided to ban Hollywood, and the Falcons decided to choose Numbani. And this is it for the Firebirds. This is the make or break game. If they win this, they tie it up and then make it once again another make or break game. Going 2-2, and loser of this game tonight is out for the season, out of the series. Winner plays Carroll tonight at, I believe, 8 p.m. So this is it. I'm your host, Bearded Man, as always. I'm so excited for this. We saw some excellent plays on Watchpoint from the Firebirds. Watchpoint is such a phenomenal map, I think, in my opinion. And the Firebirds have it down. Now, I'm curious how some of these things are going to change. I know the Firebirds have kind of had a They were talking that entire break. My glasses are fogging up. They were talking during that break, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what they need to fix, and I think they finally figured it out. They are working. Their communication is on point right now, I think. So Numbani is going to be a very important map. This is going to be the most important map of the Firebirds' career this entire season. However, being in the national championship in their inaugural season is an achievement. The Firebirds have worked so hard to come this far. They have grinded. They have come back from a bottom of the division to the top of the division, and it's just such a phenomenal. Looking at the Firebirds this entire season is just phenomenal to see. But Numbani is a map the Firebirds have played a few times. However, this was the map that they lost against Concordia. This was the map. However, it did go into extra rounds, and that is what we just saw on Watchpoint, and that's what we saw in King's Row. So I would be surprised. I would not be surprised if that's what we saw again. I think it comes down to both teams being very good on attack and not so good on defense. But this is it. So the Firebirds do need to push. If the Falcons are able to do a full hold, it's not looking good for the Firebirds. But our starting lineup for the Firebirds is going to go Azaria, Mercy, Cassidy, Reinhardt, Ana, and Pharah. Now, Pharah is such a solid pick for them, but they do have Ludba, who's been hitting these shots as Ana. And Ana is a counter to Pharah, so because of the hit scan. But for the Falcons, we're going to see a Winston, Hanzo, Mercy, Diva, Soldier, and Ana. And I'm excited to see how this is going to go. Now, they're going to take the high ground for the Firebirds, trying to push them up, knocking the Falcons down, able to get a pick on Canyon, but are down their Pharah, down their DPS. Reinhardt, Psychopreds falls initially to So Fresh. The Firebirds have lost a few people, and Canyon is back in the fight. NANCAK's getting picked off, and the Firebirds are forced to back up a little bit and regroup. They have lost their main tank and their healer. Donut being very aggressive right now, not ideal because a lot of damage is going to be done, but Numbani is such a good map for Pharah because there's so much cover in the air, so many billboards, so many signs, so many buildings that Pharah can kind of hide behind. So I'm excited to see how this is going to go. Now, Donut does know how to play Pharah. We've seen that time and time again, and the Falcons last time struggled severely with the Pharah. But I am not surprised that now they're able to counter it. They expected the Pharah, and they have definitely shown just how powerful they are and just how strong their DPS and their counters to Pharah are. Psychopath's running in alone, somehow surviving, in all honesty, being knocked down to 30 health, being forced to hide, but having that health pack in that room and also being able to take a breather, healing back up. Donut is kind of a ways away off a point, trying to fight that Pectus though, along with Hubbub on that pocket, doing a lot of healing, and the Firebirds have kind of moved on to point, but they haven't really gotten any picks. The Falcons are still here. They are still alone. They are still holding. Crazy Mates falls to Jomaru. Whole 60 seconds have been burned off the clock for the Firebirds to push. However, now both teams have a bunch of ults, a bunch of ultimates to use. So Donut having that barrage, but just barely surviving, almost falling off the map. Barely surviving, but getting that boost in the last second, able to survive and not fall to his death. Now, the Falcons have several ults, almost all of their ults at their disposal. Firebirds have quite a few, but not enough. Jomaru getting an early pick on NANCAKes. We're going to see Donut using that barrage, but because it was such a distant, Jomaru getting a triple kill there. Only one of them with the drag. Canyon knocking people around using the primal rage, knocking Psychopreds off, but Canyon was able to get picked off by Looter Synergy at that last second. Oh, 70 seconds on the clock for the Firebirds. They need to push. They need to do this. NANCAKes having their ultimate, a lot of ultimates outside of Meteor Strike. Donut is going to be switching to Doomfist because he has realized that Pharah is being countered so heavily. Doomfist is a very good person to play, I think, because they only have a sleep to counter the Doomfist. Now we're going to see the Nano Whole Hog, which is something you don't see often. Jomaru getting picked off by Donut, just running in. We're going to see the High Noon going out, getting Duckinator in that. We're going to see Donut still going strong. We're going to see a Visor, though, and a Diva Bomb coming out from Pectus. The Firebirds are securing point right now. Canyon is the only one on point. Outside, there's Pectus. Pectus taking a lot of damage as Diva. Donut almost dying there, though. Firebirds looks like they're going to be able to secure that point, but with very little time on the clock. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on, or added to the clock, making it pretty much all the time that they had in their bank was spent up. So they have some time to burn, but that was very, very scary for the Firebirds. I think that they had one fight left and they just so happened to win it. But I think the Falcons do know that this is it. They still can do it really well. This corner is very, very good for them to hold. Canyon getting countered. Donut getting a double kill there on Canyon and Jomaru. And trying to get that Diva right off the bat. We're going to see Duckinator get the revive on Canyon. Going to be Meteor Striker right onto the team, getting Ludba, knocking them around, but taking so much damage by the Winston, because Winston is a very good. We're going to see the Primal Rage being popped by Canyon. The point has stopped. Now they're back Donut is being knocked around by Cannon. Cannon being focused. The Firebirds are continuing to push it. Duckinator being alone, and because the Winston was not there, and Donut is continuing to push in and be so aggressive. They have captured that second point. A minute 30 left, or added to the clock once again for this last point, but this last point is where a lot of teams hold. This is a very difficult place to hold, or a very good place to hold, very difficult place to push, because the attacker or the defender spawn is right there, right in the back of that museum. A lot of time being spent though while they're pushing in. I think the Falcons know that. They're going to be using several ults in this next fight because they have it at their ready, but Donut switching to Doomfest was the fight that they, or the change that they needed. It was so strong. We're gonna see a whole hawk coming out from Psychopreds, or the Dragon. We're gonna see the High Noon, a bunch of ults being used by the Firebirds. And we're gonna see the Soldier Visor going out and being disabled, only getting a one person, or not even getting anybody, but we're gonna see that Diva Bomb being used, able to get Psychopreds in the fight. We're gonna see Duckinator being used, the revive being canceled by the Doomfist, and the Firebirds are going to push it all the way. Maybe, kind of. The Sofresh going to Reaper. Reaper's a great switch here. I think we're gonna see that that Sigma ult, raising everybody in the air, pushing it just 0.3 meters, and there we go. Firebirds pushing it all the way to the end with a minute 48 left on the clock.
Score.
Wow. Wow. This is going to be a repeat, I think, of last match, where it's going to be down to extra rounds, these extra seconds added to the clock for both teams when we go into these extra rounds. I am so excited to see what happens here, how this goes. So Firebirds are going to be defending now, minute 48. It's just a serene landscape, the savannah. Amazing to see. Just some amazing map design. That being said, the actual map that you're playing on is better because they put more effort into modeling that. Nobody looks off the map, you know. Overwatch is to be played. But for their attack, it looks like the Falcons are going to be going to Brigida now. Duckinator's going from Mercy to Brigida, and Brigida is a hard counter to a Doomfist. But Donut is playing Torbjorn instead of the Doomfist, and Lunar Synergy is swapping to the Reaper. And Reaper is always just such a solid person. But when they have the Ana, Reaper is not going to be powerful. Ana being able to prevent the extra healing, and that is the key to Reaper. Reaper having that passive life steal, where as he's doing damage, a percentage of that is returned to him as health. But if he's not able to heal, he needs to back up and play less aggressive. And Lunar Synergy kind of has struggled with that at this season sometimes. So this is it. I think this is going to be a very interesting game to watch. We're going to see Canim and Pectus going that mid area as Winston and Diva. Sofresh taking quite a bit of damage from that Torp turret, but being able to be healed back up. Duckinator is no longer going Brigida, I think, because they saw there's going to be no Doomfist. We're going to see Crazy Mates being dove right off the bat, doing so much damage, but Psychopreds was doing enough damage to survive and get some key picks. Canning getting a pick on Nankicks, though. The Firebirds are down one of their healers. Will Hubba be able to get the res? Probably not. Canyon getting a pick on Donut and Psychopreds and Crazy Mates. The Falcons have eliminated enough of the Firebirds that I think they're going to be taking that point. The Firebirds, Donut once again switching to May. I don't know why this didn't happen sooner, but I think now they know. Being able to counter any sort of resistance, being able to split the team off using that May wall. Canyon is going to be diving the Firebirds. They're kind of their back line in that high ground, whereas some of the Firebirds are going to be pushing up a little bit more, being a little bit aggressive, but because they're both tanks in the back line, it's not going to be much of an issue. The Firebirds have quite a bit of ground that they need to stop. The Falcons are going to be pushing pretty far. Psychobird's getting a pick on Duckinator. One of their main healers is down, but Ludbub probably will be able to compensate with doubling down on healing and less so aggression, less so damage, because Ana can do both, which is great. But we're going to see more and more ground being covered. Pectus getting a pick on Psychopreds. Crazy Mage trying his best to do enough damage to that Pectus, and that we're gonna see that high noon being pulled by the Falcons, but Crazy Mage was able to soak it up, and Joe Maru getting picked off by Lunar Synergy. We're gonna see Crazy Mage using that ultimate, but I don't think anybody was in it. Pectus was just able to dive the rest of them because Crazy Mage was just not able to do anything, and the Falcons were able to secure that point. 5.4 minutes on the clock. This is not good for the Firebirds. The Firebirds are going to have to do a Hail Mary defense right now. They're going to have to defend like their lives depend on it. More so than it was on launch point, because that's a lot of time that they need to burn and not a lot of distance. The Firebirds need to make sure that they do not even get through that arch. I think there's 2 team fights that the Falcons need to win in order for them to fully secure this point, and that's assuming they get them all at once. We're going to see that Maywall kind of blocking people around. We're going to see both of the tanks for the Falcons knocked around. We're going to see Donut have that Blizzard, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that very soon. Pegged is in the back line being chased by Lunar Synergy. Once again, So Fresh and Duckinator are on that high ground. Don't Psycho Preds nearly dying, but being able to get enough healing and cover to survive. 4 minutes 40 seconds, 60 seconds have been burned off the clock. Donut using that Maywall is going to be crucial right here. I'm surprised we don't see more May. All honesty, I think May is such a powerful person and is definitely that powerful in pro play. You could be all about May is using those May walls, and it's just such an interesting play. We're gonna see Canyon falling to Lunar Synergy, and we're gonna see that Blizzard being used by Donut. Excellent stagger on these ultimates, only using that Blizzard to kind of just buy them some time. We're gonna see Dragons though being used to clear off point. Lunar Synergy getting Duckinator with that high noon, however taking so much damage, and the tanks have dove our backline. Pecht is diving, but being able to use those boosters to get back up there. So far it's getting picked off by Crazy Mage. Another minute was burned off of the clock for the Firebirds. Wow, this is such a close game right now. Firebirds have definitely shown how good their defense is, so I would not be surprised if they full held them here. But Psycho Preds continues to try and get some poke damage from that high ground. But I think the strategy that Concordia is using is both of their tanks are going to take the high ground. We're going to see the Diva Bomb being used, and it's going to get Crazy Mage, which is going to be a great pick. However, Hubbub might come in and try and get the revive. An amazing slap by Ludba on the Ana, and Donut is forced to back up because he is anti-grenaded. He might be switching off of here onto there we go. We're going to see a Doomfist from Donut instead of the May, because it's going to be so close right here. Canim is forcing people to back up. Canim is going to be diving back onto the point, but we're going to see the Dragons. We're going to see the Visor. We're going to see the Primal Rage here soon, and that is going to be key for the Falcons. The Falcons were able to get enough picks. We're going to see the High Noon getting So Fresh, but the Primal Rage is alone. Lunar Synergy getting hit and dying from Canim using that Primal Rage. Nobody's on point. Crazy Mage is now on point. It's just Donut and Canim. Wow, 2 minutes 20 on the clock, and the Firebirds held them once again. Lot of stuff being happened. This is defense from the Firebirds is so good. This is phenomenal to see. And Numbani was the map the Firebirds lost to last time they played Concordia. The Firebirds do have to hold them just a little bit more, but ultimately their times are pretty similar now too. So if the Falcons are able to push it all the way to the end, the time difference is not going to be there. The time difference is going to be nearly identical. So it's going to be 0. The difference is going to be 0, but the times are going to be nearly identical. But right now, actually, Firebirds do technically have more time, but ultimately in those extra rounds, extra time doesn't really do much. It does very little. If you get it comes down to these main plays. But we're gonna see Donut trying to dive in, but can't even getting that pick on Donut. And Crazy Mage diving in as Wrecking Ball, trying to knock him around. We're gonna see Dragons being used, can't even So Fresh, and Pectus and Joe Maru getting picks. The Firebirds losing 5 people in that fight, and it looks like the Falcons are going to be holding it with about 35 seconds less which that's a decent margin. Extra rounds is extra rounds. So no time technically is added to the clock when you capture these points. So what's going to happen is the Falcons are going to have to push it as far as they can, and the Firebirds are going to have to hold it. And then the Firebirds are going to have to push it as far as they were able to, as far as the Falcons were able to. So it really comes down to every second now that we're in extra rounds. Beautiful, beautiful scenery.
Ready for battle.
Cameraman is doing a great job being able to use this jetpack or something. It's a drone. We'll call it a drone. Talking is exhausting sometimes. This shoutcast is sponsored by water. Water, you're amazing. Thank you. Firebirds are gonna be doing similar comp, going Sigma, Mercy, Cassidy, Roadhog, Ana, and a Doomfist, whereas the Falcons are gonna be going the same comp as last time. These teams, we see very little variation for both of these teams because both comps work really well. It just comes down to outplaying the other team, hitting your shots, being able to outmaneuver them. It's not about who you pick, it's about how you play them now. And Donut is preparing for that side push, but it looks like a lot of the Falcons are going to be going that bottom mid area. 60 seconds on the clock. So Fresh taking quite a bit of damage, being picked off by Donut. Donut is now free to kind of push their backline and mess them up, do a lot of damage, do a little dance, get down tonight. But Donut is front and center, ready to cause a lot of chaos for the Falcons. Now 30 seconds on the clock. The Falcons have one push left. They are not able to afford another one. And Canyon being picked off and Ludbug getting picked off. The Firebirds are doing really, really good right now. The Firebirds are starting out very strong. The Falcons do need to push though. This is it. This is it. They don't have much time to spare. 10 seconds, 15 seconds left on the clock. And that is enough for not. If you could spend 15 seconds just walking the point. They need to do something right now. This is it for the Falcons. They need to touch point though. They might not be able to touch point. If the fact they were able to touch point just in the nick of time, being able to force it overtime, but it's now overtime. So now the Falcons are not able to lead point. The Firebirds might be able to hold this using that meteor strike on both of the tanks, but they're able to dive out of the way. We're gonna see 2-1 though, and it's Donut is surviving. Donut gets picked off, and the Falcons are able to do quite a bit of time and capture quite a bit, but no time is gonna be added to the clock. The Falcons are going to have to stay on the cart. But right now for the Firebirds, their mission is just to make sure they're not touching cart. That means by any means necessary. We have Crazy Mage being able to use that accretion to knock people around. We do see Ludbug being able to switch to Lucio and knock people around using that right click. But now switching, of course, right as I mentioned it, back to Ana, and I think that's a solid pick. I always switch to Lucio as like a last minute Hail Mary. We're gonna see Ludbug getting picked off by that anti-grenade, and Donut getting picked off by Jomaru though. The Firebirds continue to do this, but a lot of these picks being popped. Hubba being able to pop that Valkyrie, but the Dragon was just too much, and the Firebirds are gonna be picked off. Lunar Synergy and Hubba are the last remaining survivors. Lunar Synergy doing quite a bit of damage on the Falcons, but it wasn't enough, and the Falcons are continuing to push in. And because their spawn is so far back, it is not going to end well for the Firebirds, because the Falcons, I think, are going to be able to push them all the way there. And this, I mean, it does come down. Jomaru getting a pick on Lunar Synergy. Donut's up there, front and center. Psychopreds is also up there, trying to do enough damage with that Tesla cannon. Going to be taking care of the backline, whereas the Falcons tanks are just right there. We're gonna see a Primal Rage being popped by Canny, gonna be knocking people around. We're gonna see a Meteor Strike coming out from Donut very soon. Probably to save his life. We're gonna see it. There we go. There's that Meteor Strike. Will it be good enough though? It's probably gonna be good. It's gonna get Duckinator. Will it get Jomar? Will it get anybody? There's a few people for the Falcons left on point, and it's going to be really good right now. NECC is a phenomenal Ana player, and the Firebirds were able to hold it before that second point. However, the Falcons need to hold them. The Falcons might be able to full hold them. If the Firebirds are not able to push it all the way to where the Falcons just pushed it, it is game over. It is season over. It is not going to end well for the Firebirds. They need to switch it up. They need to play to the best of their ability. No room for mistakes. No room for being a hero. No room for any sort of misplays. Some more scenery to enjoy the beautiful map of Numbani. I enjoy Numbani's architecture. I enjoy this map. I think this might be my favorite map. Hard to say though, because honestly, I'm just a bad player all around. That's why I'm casting and not playing, because they've said it to my face. You're a bad player. And I'm like, oh, thanks, guys. Yeah. No, they've said it. The producers are confused. No, they've said it. They've implied it at least. Body language. Falcons are going to be running the same comp as last time because it worked so beautifully, going a Winston, Hanzo, Mercy, Diva, Soldier, and Ana, whereas the Firebirds are going to be going the Nancakes on Baptiste and the Donut on Doomfist. Donut on Doomfist is a really big threat. However, Joe Maru being able to get some really easy, quick shots on Donut. When Donut is not in play, the Firebirds do struggle. And I think Joe Maru, when Joe Maru is able to focus on on Donut on Doomfist, it usually ends with a kill. So the Firebirds once again going that top area, gonna try and do a push. We're gonna see Donut running in, almost just barely surviving. That immortality field's going to be really good. Was able to survive, was able to protect Donut just enough. A lot of damage being done. Duckinator getting picked off by Donut. Donut is diving the backline for the Falcons, and Joe Maru is trying to 1v1 him. Donut was taking a lot of damage there. Nancake's got to pick on Kaneem, and Joe Maru getting picked off of Donut. Wow.
60 seconds remaining.
Lot of stuff happening right now. Firebirds were able to capture that point. 40 seconds left on the clock. However, 40 seconds. The Falcons can hold them still. The Falcons might be able to hold them. Firebirds have to push it to where the right before that second point, where the Falcons left it. And I think the Firebirds could. It's not going to be good because we see some of these ults. Primal Rage and Dragon are phenomenal ultimates to use in these extra rounds because Primal Rage can knock you around, and the Dragons can just knock you off a point. You cannot sit there inside of the Dragons, and it will not end well for you if you do that. But the Firebirds are going to try and use these off angles to get some key picks. 4 seconds left, and now that it's come down to the last second, I think we're going to see a lot more ults now, a lot more ult usage. We're going to see Donut try and dive the backline, but the rest of the Firebirds are nowhere to be found. And the Duckinator survives just barely. Nobody gets hit with that Duck. The overtime was ticking down. Donut getting some amazing plays. All the Firebirds getting some plays. Psychobred's using that whole hog, knocking people around, not able to get the hook. And they're buying a lot of time for the rest of the Falcons to come back in. We're gonna see that anti-grenade, which is not good for the Firebirds because now they have absolutely no healing. Psychopred's once again still on point. Donut's trying to come back in as Doomfist. And Psychopred just trying his best, but will it be enough? Will he be able to survive? He's being pocketed by Hubbub, but the Diva Bomb able to not do enough to get the kill on Psychopred. Donut is back in the fight, able to get out pick on the Tracer, but the Falcons able to get a few picks, and the overtime blocks down, and the Falcons win map 4, win the series for tonight, and the Firebirds have been eliminated from the NECC Overwatch National Championship. Truly heartbreaking, but these were two extremely evenly matched teams. And it honestly came down to positioning. It came down literally aiming. It came down to the smallest aspects, and ultimately that's something you can't really improve mid-game. You can try your best, but if you are not able to hit your shots, maybe you should have spent more time in aim labs. That was heartbreaking to see. Joe Maru doing 21,000 damage, 33% of the damage, and Kaneem blocking almost 20.6, almost 20.7 1,000 damage for the Falcons. That was such a heartbreaking loss from the Firebirds, but Concordia definitely earned it. I think they performed beautifully tonight, and the Firebirds were able to try and switch it up, try and get these counters, and it worked. But again, it came down to these plays, these aims, these small plays, and that is what I think they were able to just overcome. But now the Falcons will be playing Carroll tonight in the semifinals for the NECC Overwatch National Championship. Firebirds have been eliminated. It is done. We are done. Carthage Esports is finally finished for the season. Finally being unfortunate. It is very sad. But again, it's the inaugural season for Carthage Esports, and the fact that all 8 teams qualified for the national championship is insane to say, and something that many other programs are not able to say the same. So from the bottom of our heart, I think ultimately we know that we have done so much to get here. And this loss, it is sad, but ultimately we did earn it. We didn't earn the loss, but we earned coming here. We have grinded. We've practiced. We have come from nothing to something. And it is something that you don't really see. You see this in movies, coming from the bottom of the leaderboard to the division finals, to the national championship, and playing up against some amazing teams. Like, it's ultimately heartbreaking to see these losses, but there is another way to look at the situation. Ultimately, I think Carthage Esports has had an amazing season. All 8 teams qualifying for the national championship, having, I believe, 4 teams going to the finals, the division finals, and this is something that's just it's amazing to see, having so many people being able to use these skills in video games that they were not normally. They didn't think they had anything in it. They didn't think that they could use it, and being able to represent Carthage on the athletic level, at a varsity level, being able to play with some amazing teams is something that I think everybody will cherish and continue to cherish this summer. Will work on their skills, because hey, next year, Carthage Firebirds coming back stronger than ever, coming back with the strongest Overwatch team you have ever seen. I promise you. In I say that, but then also, like, pro level. I think the Firebirds do know what they're going to work on for the next season. I think they know what works, will know what doesn't work, and ultimately, I'm expecting a better outcome in the fall if the Overwatch team continues. I'm not sure if the NECC will be having Overwatch as well, but I think that is all we have for tonight. I'm not quite sure if we're doing a post-game interview, but we are not doing a post-game interview, I've heard. But thank you so much for tuning in for all of these games, for whether it be Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, or League of Legends. You showing up, you being in our stream has shown us so much support, and it means so much to us. Be sure to follow all of our social medias, our at Carthage Esports on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. Just be sure to show support. If you see one of our players in the halls or whatever, just be like, hey, nice job, congrats, making it to nationals. That's something many other sports teams don't even have the honor of saying. So I'm going to go out there. I think all of our team, we're going to be smiling. We're going to be happy that we did so well this season. So for the last time of the year, I've been Bearded Man. You've been awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and have an excellent summer. Catch you later, Firebirds.
Don't